Hello, lovely people. Welcome to the class. Hi, all of you. I'm Sanjana. I'm back with another fun live session of the Playbook. So, those of you who are there with me, uh, it would be really nice if you could motivate us by giving in some likes. Okay, can I get some hello in the comment section? Let me see. Let me see all of you, those who are there with us. Can I get a hello? Hello, Alankrit. Hello, Pratibha. Okay, ST Technical, hello. Okay, so very well. Those who are here for the first time, you can subscribe to our channel, the Playbook India, for more contents. You can also check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and via our website. The links are given in the description. You can follow us to get regular updates. We are going to conduct a series of live session on grammar, and we can help you speak and write good English. So today we are going to learn about the basic sentence structure. And those who are new here, you can also watch the previous sessions and you can forward the link to your friends and family. Okay, so we will be starting off with today's session. It's so delightful seeing all of you here with me. Okay, so we are on for a very informative session today. So let's get started. And as you guys know already, you can put in your answers and any kind of doubts in the comment section. Okay, so let's get started with today's session on basic sentence structure. So sometimes we tend to make mistakes while writing or speaking a sentence, and in that way we end up communicating meaninglessly. We do that sometimes. So it's really important that we understand how to compose clear, effective, understandable sentences. To structure sentences well, we should begin by stating the subject. We should avoid the passive voice and focus on the clarity of the sentence. Avoid writing sentences that only express partial thoughts or that join too many ideas together. So let's see guys, what are we in for today? So as you can see, every word in a sentence serves a specific purpose within the structure of that particular sentence. According to the rules of grammar, sentence structure can sometimes be quite complicated, and for the sake of simplicity, we have the basic parts of sentences that we are going to discuss. So the two most basic parts of a sentence are the subject and the predicate. If you have followed our sessions from the beginning, we already know what the subject in a sentence means. So the subject of a sentence is the person, place, thing or object that is performing the action. That is the main subject. The person or a thing or any other object, whatever action they are performing, they are the ones doing it, right? So that's why they are the main subject, the subject in the sentence. The subject represents what or whom the sentence is about. The simple subject usually contains a noun or pronoun and can include modifying words, phrases, or clauses. So as we already learned, that subject is the main part of a sentence, and the sentence usually tells us about the subject. Okay, so the simple subject can be a noun or a pronoun, and there can also be modifying words or phrases that are telling us about the subject. Let's look at an example. The man. Here the subject is the man. It's quite simple, although it's an incomplete sentence, but we can clearly understand the man is the subject here, right? Now what's a predicate? The predicate expresses action or being within the sentence. So just like I told you about the subject, whatever the subject does or whatever action is being described, is being denoted, is the predicate. Everything else in the sentence other than the subject is a predicate. Okay, so the simple predicate contains the verb, the action word, the doing verb, and can also contain modifying words, phrases, or clauses. Just like the subject, it can also contain words that modify the subject or the verb. Phrases or clauses if you have followed our previous sessions, you already know what are we talking about. We're talking about the subject, verb, and object agreement here, right? Look, here the subject is the man and builds a house. The man builds a house. So builds a house is the predicate, which is the rest of the part of the sentence, right? Now builds is a direct verb here. It's a direct action that you can see happening. Who is building the house? The man. What is the man doing? He's building. What is he building? A house, right? So there are certain parts in a sentence. Let's look at some further subdivisions. Okay, so the subject and predicate make up the two basic structural parts of any complete sentence. This is quite a very basic thing that you must notice in a sentence, that a sentence only has two basic structures, that is the subject and the predicate that we already learned. But there are also a few other elements which bring about a change in your sentence. So there are other elements which contained within the subject or predicate add meaning or detail. These elements include the direct object, indirect object, and the subject complement. All of these elements can be expanded and further combined into simple, compound, complex, or compound or complex sentences, which we will be learning in the further sessions. Okay, so keep in mind there are other elements such as direct object, indirect object, and subject complement other than subject and predicate. Okay, so let's look further. So direct object. The direct object receives the action of the sentence. It's quite simple. The object receives the action. The direct object is usually a noun or a pronoun. Okay, let's look at two examples here. The man builds a house. We can clearly see the man is the subject here. Building, builds, he builds a house. So builds is a verb, right? And what does he build? He builds a house. So the house is a direct object. I hope this was clear to all of you. A house. So the house is being built. So it is receiving the action of being built. So that's why it is the direct object. Alright. Let's look at the second example. The man builds it. Now there can be anything the man can be building, right? The man builds it. The man builds the wall. The man builds the cupboard. It can be anything. Or it can be a simple pronoun denoting some kind of object, right? So the man, which is the subject, builds, which is the verb, it, which is the direct object. Okay, so I hope it's clear to all of you. Coming up to indirect object. The indirect object indicates to whom or for whom the action of the sentence is being done. Okay, so take note in your minds, everybody. The object here is indirect, which means the indirect object is indicating for whom the action is being done in the sentence. The indirect object is usually a noun or a pronoun. Let's look at two examples. The man builds his family a house. So again, let's come to the division. The man is the subject here. Builds is the verb. His family is the indirect object, and a house is the direct object. So the man builds a house. For whom? For his family. Can you see it's answering the question for whom? So the man builds his family a house. Here, his family is the indirect object. Then looking at the second example. The man builds them a house. So again, we can see the man is building a house for someone or for them, right? I hope this breakup was clear to all of you. Moving on, we have subject complement. Now, this must be something you might have rarely heard of. A subject complement either renames or describes the subject and therefore is usually a noun, a pronoun, or adjective. Okay, so subject complement, which means it complements the object. It finishes off the object along with another noun or pronoun or an adjective. Okay, let's look at the examples. The man is a good father. Here, father is a noun which renames the subject. What is the subject here? The man. What is he? He is also a father. So, father is another noun which is modifying the subject, which is complementing the subject. Okay, Then comes the man seems kind. So it answers the question, what kind of man? He is a kind man. Okay, so kind here is an adjective, as we already know. So it describes the subject again. Can you see? It is telling us about the man who is kind. In the first sentence, it is also telling us about the man being a good father. In the second sentence, it is telling us about the man being kind. So we get to know two different things, but here the subject is being complemented in different ways. In the first sentence, a noun is complementing the subject. In the second sentence, an adjective is complementing the sentence. So remember, a subject complement can be a noun or a pronoun or an adjective. It can be anything. Okay, so let's see what we have further. Now, let's look at some clearer examples. So, follow the order always. Subject, verb, indirect object and direct object. Remember, everyone, not all sentences will have a direct object or an indirect object. But it might miss out on indirect object, but it will definitely have an object. It doesn't necessarily have to be a direct object, but a sentence must have a verb as well as an object. Okay, so look at example number 1. My sister, a birthday cake yesterday, me baked. Quite jumbled up, right? There's no structure to this sentence. So adding structure to this sentence, we will follow the subject verb agreement. That is, first we will put the subject, that is my sister. What is she doing? Well, what was the action here? The action was a cake being baked, a birthday cake. So my sister baked me a birthday cake yesterday. Can you tell me which is the indirect object here? For whom is the cake being baked? For me. So me is the indirect object. So my sister baked me a birthday cake yesterday. My sister, subject, baked, verb, me, indirect object, a birthday cake, direct object. I hope the order was clear to you. Let's look at another example. A postcard from Japan sent her best friend. Quite jumbled up. Her best friend sent her a postcard from Japan. Look, follow the order of the sentence. Her best friend is the subject here. What did she do? She sent. What did she send? A postcard from Japan. So, her best friend is the subject, sent is the verb, her is the indirect object, and the direct object is a postcard. We don't really think that she sent something else. We specifically know that she has sent a postcard, right? So that is the direct object. Okay, so it's a very, very simple order. Subject, verb, indirect object, and direct object. Okay, remember, indirect object can be missing from any sentence. That is not that is optional. Okay, so moving on to an exercise. Can you try rewriting these sentences with correct structure? Everybody, fingers on your keyboard. Let's see. The short man has bought some crayons from the stationery shop, his son. Can you all give me the answers in the comment section? Okay, let's see. All of you can give me your answers in the comment section. Let's look at the second one. Brought me a bouquet of flowers last week, my uncle. Quite meaningless, isn't it? He, his brother, the secret has never told. Come on, let's give some meaning to these sentences. Everybody, give me your answers. All of you. Okay, Alankrit is ready. Okay. Alankrit, do not hurry. Try to correct out the sentence. Put proper spellings and proper punctuation, please. Alankrit, you're not ending your sentences. Please end your sentences with a full stop. Yes. Manjunath AN. Yes, your answer is correct. Okay. Alankrit, please check for the spelling of stationery. Remember to follow the order. Subject. Yes. Right. Alankrit, first one is correct. Yes, Pratibha, you're correct with the second one. Yes, Alankrit, the third one is correct. Right. Okay. Let's see some more answers, everybody. All those who are here, come on, share your answers with me. Aditi, you can give me your answers. Okay. Pratibha, can you try the first one? You missed out on the first one, I think. Yes, he has never told the secret to his brother. Yes, that's correct. But Pratibha, is there a two? Is there a two in the question? There's no two. Try again, please. Third one is tricky. Let's see. All of you rewrite the answers. Look at the question again. Okay, let me tell you the answers. Alright, so all of you can check your answers here. The short man has bought his son some crayons from the stationery shop. Okay, so who is the subject here? Clearly the short man. What is he doing? What's the action? He has bought. What has he bought? Some crayons. That's the direct object. And for whom did he buy the crayons? For his son. So his son is the indirect object. Okay, I hope the answer was clear to everybody. Looking at the second one. Brought me a bouquet of flowers last week, my uncle. My uncle brought me a bouquet of flowers last week. So who brought me? My uncle. So that's clearly the subject. What did he do? Brought. For whom did he buy a bouquet of flowers? For me. So me is the indirect object, and as you can clearly understand, bouquet of flowers is the direct object. Now, one grave mistake that all of you do, told is not followed by to. Told is never to be followed by the preposition to. He has never told his brother the secret. Could you all follow? Look at the question again. He, his brother, the secret has never told. I told to him, she told to me. That's so wrong. Never ever do that. That's really wrong. Okay? So, he has never told his brother the secret. Okay? All those of you who have written it in the answer, please check for yourselves. No, there will be no comma after brother. There will be no comma after brother. Manjunath AN, please check. He has never told his brother the secret. He is the subject here. What has he done? What is the verb? He has never told. What has he never told? The secret, which is the direct object. To whom? To his brother. Right? So, he has never told his brother the secret. There will be no comma after brother. There will never, told will never be followed by to. Please take note, those of you who are writing told the secret to his brother, that's wrong. Alright, very well. So we have come to the end of today's session. Alright, so I hope all of you could grab the session today. We discussed the basic sentence structure, which is quite basic, and it's really simple to understand. It's just that only you need to keep it in your mind the next time you speak or you're writing a sentence. Okay, so stay tuned for more content. I'll see you in the next session. Okay, so everybody, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon for more notifications, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night, everyone.